So gently taking your chin towards your chest, then let your ear drop over to one shoulder. We're going to stretch from the opposite shoulder all the way down to your fingertips. We're going to turn the palm to the floor. And then we're just going to gently turn the chin to the other armpit. And relax. Hello, if you just joined us. Okay, we're going to just do a quick warm up. So chin to the chest, ear stretches over to the other shoulder. Let's stretch from the opposite shoulder all the way down to fingertips. So we're just stretching out those big neck muscles. Turn the palm to the floor. The ones that get overused if you're sitting for a long time looking at a computer screen. So turn the chin to the armpit now. And relax. Okay, we're going to link both fingers in front. We're going to breathe in, bring the arms up over the head. And then we're going to tilt to the side. Just go carefully, just in the range that suits you. Come back up. Breathing in again. As you breathe out, just going to the other side. So a little bit of trunk flexion, shoulder flexion, coming back up. All right, we're going to drop the arms down. We're going to lift our elbows and keep them below shoulder height. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. We're going to breathe in again. As we breathe out, we're doing a big sweeping semicircle in the air. We're turning our palm over, bringing our arm back. So we're doing a bit of trunk rotation and giving ourselves a pec stretch. We're going to breathe in again. As we breathe out, stretch the other arm around, turn the palm over, bring that arm back, and relax. Okay, find a piece of wall nearby or a sturdy table. We're just going to stretch your calf muscles. So 2 hands on your wall, or if you're at a table, just pushing against the table. Your back knee is straight, your heel flat on the floor, and we're just leaning in, getting a stretch in our calf muscles on that back leg. Okay, we're going to bend the back knee now, keep the heel down so that you're getting a stretch a little bit further down into your calf. Okay, and then we're going to swap to the other side. So other foot behind you, heel flat on the floor. You need to be far enough away to actually feel that stretching in your calf muscles. Okay, and then we're going to bend the back knee again so we're getting the stretch a little bit further down into the Achilles. And then relaxing. Okay, so we're going to hang on to the wall or the table, okay, and we're stretching the front of the thigh. Now, if you can, I want you to let go. That's a little bit of extra balance practice. And as we get older, we need to be incorporating as much balance practice into our day as we can. Okay, let's swap to the other side. We need about, the studies show, about an hour of balance training every week to maintain what we've got. And after about the age of 45, balance tends to fall off a cliff like everything else. So it means you need to be doing more than an hour of balance training a week to actually improve. All right, and relax. Okay, so we're going to start with a squat. Okay, we're going to have feet and knees hip width apart. We're going to have our arms in what I call a genie position. So if you think of I Dream of Jeannie, she does the whole thing like this. So what we're going to do is bend both knees and hips, look through our genie arms as we bend, and then come back up, all right? So we're going to do 30 of these, all right, which is probably a lot. Some of you might be thinking, all right, people that do my classes regularly know that 30 is probably quite common for me. Now, I'm not really good at counting while I'm instructing, so make sure you're counting. I'll give you a side-on view so you can see what I'm doing from the side. So my knees are tracking in line with my second toes. I'm bending but keeping the weight into my heels, okay? And if I was to draw a line down the front, my knees are not going past my big toes, okay? That's important. Kneecaps don't like a lot of pressure through them. You're also more likely to use your bottom muscles if you can keep your knees behind your big toes, okay? You may not be doing as big a range as me, or you might be doing bigger range. That's okay. But if you can, I want you to look through the genie arms and then come all the way upright. Your heart rate will have increased, your breathing increased, because we're using big muscle groups. Okay, I'm going to do 5 more. Should be no knee pain. All right, and last one. Okay, so I'm going to stay side on, and what I'm going to do is put one foot in front of the other. Okay, so I'm upright. I'm in a step stance position. I'll give you a front on view in a sec. And what we're going to do is what we call a forward lean or a hip hinge. Okay, so got my hands on my hips. I'm going to keep my back knee straight, and I'm bending from my hips and bending my front knee so that my ear, my shoulder, my hip, my knee, my ankle are in the same straight line. And in this position, pushing into my right front heel, you should be able to feel your glutes or your bottom muscles working on that right hand side. There's a lot of balance involved in this position. And we're just going to lift our arms one at a time out to the side. Now, if you had some weights, you could pop some weights in your hands. I'm keeping the community classes equipment free, but if you had a drink bottle or a bag of rice or something, you could pop those in your hands. All right. The important thing is to keep your head in line with your body and keep breathing and pushing into that front heel. Your lumbar spine is in a neutral position. All right, I'm going to do 2 more each side. So what we're aiming for is about 10 lifts either side. All right, I'm going to step back. All right, and I'm going to turn forwards this time so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to step forward with my left foot this time. I'm upright, hands on my hips. I'm tilting from my hips into a forward lean position. It's 30-degree bend at the hips, bending my front knee a little bit more, actively pushing into my front heel. And this time I'm going to lift my arms in front. So I'm keeping my chin tucked, my head in line with the body. All right, I'm going to do 10 lifts on either side. So as I said, you could use weights in your hands. Make sure you're not lifting too high. I want you to concentrate on the shoulder blade muscles staying engaged. All right, so as I said, I'm a bit rubbish at counting and talking, so I'm going to do 2 more each side. All right, and then we're going to step back. Okay, so the next one we're going to do, I'm just going to pull my blind down here so that we're getting rid of some of that glare, okay, is we're going to go back into that step stance position. So this time right leg, okay, and I'm going to sink down into that lunge position, okay, and I'm going to pop my arms out in front, okay. So my hands are directly in front of, kind of in between belly button and sternum, and we're doing a little rotation, okay. So hips are staying straight ahead, pointing straight ahead, but you're rotating or twisting your upper body on your lower body. Fabulous for balance training. If you're pushing into that front heel, and that's what you should be doing, you should feel your bottom working, okay? You're also working your core. All right, we're going to do 5 each side. I think I've got 1 more. All right, and then we're going to swap legs. So let's bring that leg down. I'll give you a side on view this time. So left foot in front, right foot behind. The further apart your feet are, the harder you will work, okay? The better your balance though, and the lower down you sink into that lunge, the harder you will work. All right, so arms out in front again, shoulder blades are on. Keep your hip bones pointing straight ahead. We're rotating somewhere between 12 and 10 and 12 and 2. And it's much harder than it looks. Now, if your knees aren't happy in this position, you could stay up higher, just in. That is still going to challenge you. Now, you could put a weight in your hands out in front, or a ball or a roller, and that makes it a little bit harder as well. All right, I think I've got 1 more each side. All right, and we're going to relax the arms. All right, we're going to go back to the start. So we're going to do those 3 exercises one more time through. So we started with our squats, with our feet hip width apart, doing 30 squats. Okay, so I'll try and count this time. Remember to keep the weight into your heels. Make sure you're breathing, lifting those arms out as you bend. Bring them back to your chest. You shouldn't have any back pain, okay? Shouldn't have any knee pain. You should be feeling your quads working and your bottom muscles working, so thighs and bottom. If the arms are uncomfortable for any reason, you could just keep them by your sides, or you could bring them out in front. I personally find that genie arms is quite good. It's a short lever, so it tends to not aggravate too many people. It helps you to get the correct head position as well. All right, I'm going to say 5 more. Okay, and relax. All right, so we're going back into that forward lean or hip hitch position. So feet start hip width apart, stepping forward, probably slightly bigger than a normal step. Okay, start upright. You could have weights in your hands. Okay, you're going to tilt it 30 degrees. Okay, bend your front knee a little bit more. Back knee straight. So in this position, I'm doing a lot of work with my glutes to keep me in this position. All right, arms are down, turn your shoulder blades on, tuck your chin, alternate the arms. If you've got weights, use them. Antonia, you should be using weights. I'm going to do 10 lifts. So I'm continually putting pressure into my front heel so that my bottom's doing all the work to maintain my position. My core muscles are working, but they're working in the background. I'm not having to think about them too much. I'm keeping my chin tucked, so my deep neck muscles are working, and my shoulders are doing quite a bit of work as well. Okay, I'm going to do 1 more, either side. All right, and then I'm going to step back. All right, going to step forward with the left leg now. So again, slightly bigger than normal. Okay, keep the heel lifted on the back foot. Okay, again, tilting 30 degrees. Bend your front knee a little bit more, push into the heel. And you can see from my alignment that my ear, my hip, my back knee, my back ankle are all aligned. This time I'm going to lift in front. I'm keeping my chin tucked. I'm keeping those arms more or less 90 degrees or lower because I want to keep my shoulder blades switched on, and I don't want to overuse or use those big neck muscles too much. They come on really easily and they'll dominate the movement if I want them to. So I want to keep my shoulder blades a little bit engaged. And I'm still pushing into that front heel. I can feel my glutes working. All right, just going to do 1 more each side. All right, and then I'm stepping back. Okay, I'm going to stay in this position, but I'm going to step forward again with the right foot, okay? And I'm going to sink down into that lunge position again, because our last one that we're going to do in standing are those rotations. So think about your shoulder being over your hips and that back knee. Lift the heel on that back foot, okay? Arms in front. If you're finding that the straight arms is tricky, bend your elbows, okay? Make it a shorter lever. All right, otherwise off you go. Hip bones point straight ahead, and we're rotating. So you should never be scared to twist. Our bodies are meant to twist. There's often been fear-mongering about how we should move in the past, and you shouldn't twist because you'll hurt your back. But we twist with lots of things that we do every day. So we've just got to make sure that our body knows how to twist. And this is a nice exercise for helping you to twist without doing any damage. All right, we're going to do one more on each side. Good, and relax the arms and swap the legs. Okay, so feet are hip width apart. I'm going to step forward with my left foot, sinking down into the lunge. Remember, you don't have to sink down very far, but the further you sink down, the harder your legs will work. So you should be pushing into that front heel. The back thigh should be getting a workout. Arms out in front, shoulder blades on. Okay, make sure you're breathing. So you're twisting the torso on a fixed pelvis. We're just doing 5 each side. Don't let those arms lift too high. Keep pushing into that front heel. It will help you with your balance. All right, and I think that's it. All right, let's calm back up. All right, we're going to go to the floor now. So grab a drink if you need one. Okay, and we're going to lay on our backs. Now grab a pillow if you need one. I generally don't use a pillow. And we're just going to start just with feet and knees hip width apart. And all I want you to do is just do some gentle pelvic tilt. Okay. So pelvic tilt is tilting your pelvis to flatten your lower back into the floor and then tilting to arch it the other way. It's a nice way to figure out where your lower back is in space and also to figure out if you've got any soreness there at all. And all I want you to do is to find your neutral. So where you are not squashed on the floor, not arched up, somewhere in between. We're going to turn the palms to face the ceiling, roll the shoulders down and back, slight tuck on your chin, okay? And all we're going to do is a simple single knee lift to begin with, and then we're going to get a little bit harder, okay? So my right knee is coming over my right hip, and then I'm slowly lowering it down to the floor. I'm going to do the same with my left and back down. Now I want you to think about what's happening around your pelvis. I want you to not let your lower back change its position. Okay, so it shouldn't be squashing into the floor or lifting up. As you're swapping from one foot to the other, you don't want your tummy to be blowing out or any movement to be happening through your pelvis. So that all happens by your core muscles working. So your core works at a very understated level or barely perceptible level, and it happens automatically. We do need to cue your core sometimes. All right, make sure you keep breathing. So often I find when people start to do simple exercises like this, they forget to breathe. All right, we're going to do one more on the left. Okay, and we're going to get a little bit harder. Now, if any of these exercises are new or strange to you, everything is in the website, often with a roller, but there's also all the exercises you can do without a roller. Okay, the next one we're going to do is slightly harder. Okay, we're going to, again, relax through our upper chest. Make sure you're not popping your ribs. Neck and shoulders should be relaxed. We're going to lift the right knee over the right hip, and then we're going to bring the left knee over the left hip. Okay, the right foot's going down, the left foot's going down. And then we're going to start with the left knee, then the right knee, put the left foot down, put the right foot down. Now, if you've got any back pain with this, just go back to the single leg lift, okay, the exercise we did before. Otherwise, you're just going to keep alternating the legs, and you're going to feel that your tummy has to work that little bit harder when you bring that second leg up. You don't want to feel, again, that the pelvis is squashing or rocking and rolling on the floor. You'll feel that you are working harder through your lower tummy, but you don't want to feel that your neck's working either. All right, we're going to do 10 of these in total, so that's potentially about 6. Okay, so right leg up, left leg up, right foot down, left foot down. And if you're struggling and you keep holding your breath, talk yourself through it, okay? Talking means that you have to breathe, and it's a little trick that people, I find that helps people to breathe while they're doing their exercises. All right, I'm just going to do 2 more. I think I've done more than 10. And that's it. All right, let's just bring knees in towards your chest and just do a little rock from side to side. Just to give you a little bit of a break. Okay, and then we're going to put feet back on the floor. All right, we're going to go to a bridge now. Now, same position, except your heels come a little bit closer to your bottom. Not right on top of your bottom, but just fractionally closer. You've still got your feet and knees hip width apart this way, okay? And we're going to use that pelvic tilt in our bridge. So palms are facing up, okay? That's to make sure that you're not going to overuse your neck, okay? Bridging is often done in yoga and Pilates, but we find palms facing up means that you don't overuse your neck, okay? So we're going to tilt your pelvis, squeeze your bottom, push into your heels and lift up so that your knees, your hips, your shoulders are aligned. Don't lift up higher than this, otherwise you're doing a lot of work through your lower back, okay? And bridging should mostly be about your bottom muscles. We're going to come back down, so you can come down 1 vertebrae at a time if that's comfortable, and when your tailbone hits the floor, you have a rest. Okay, let's go again. So tilt, squeeze, push into your heels, come up into that position. Keep squeezing your bottom. You've got to squeeze your bottom the whole time, and then coming back down. Now, you can come down as a block if you don't like the 1 vertebrae at a time. Okay, so again, we're going to tilt the pelvis, squeeze the butt cheeks, push into the heels. You don't want to feel the back of the thighs, okay? If your hammies or the back of the thighs are working, let's come back down, you're not using your glutes as effectively as you could. Okay, let's do 2 more. So tilt, squeeze, pushing up. So the bottom should be working the entire time until you're back on the floor. All right, and back down. Now, if your hammies won't switch off, bring your heels a little bit closer and really concentrate on pushing hard into your heels. Tilt, squeeze, push into those heels coming up. All right, and then slowly coming back down. All right, we might just have a slightly harder bridge, okay? Just for those of you that find bridging quite easy. All right, if you find that the bridging we just did was hard enough, just keep going with another 5. Otherwise, I'll show you a harder option. So that's tilt, squeeze the butt cheeks, lifting up. So to go into a single leg bridge, we're going to push into the left heel and just carefully bring the right knee over the right hip. Okay, you can just hold it here, all right? If you wanted to work harder, you can lower your bottom, push back up, all right? You can do that multiple times, okay? And we're going to lower that leg down. We're going to go straight over to the other side. So push into the right heel now, lift the left knee over the left hip. Okay, so the most important thing is to keep the pelvis stable. All right, I'm going to put that foot down. I'm going to come all the way back down. All right, so we'll just do 1 more of those each side. Okay, so tilt, squeeze the butt cheeks, push into those heels. All right, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can just keep doing the standard bridging. Okay, so they'll stay here. Keep pushing into that heel, and then we're going to swap. So slowly coming down. Don't lose the pelvis position. Push into the right heel now. Bring the left knee over the left hip. All right, and holding it, and then coming back down. Good. We're going to tilt and come all the way back down. All right. Let's just give you a quick bottom stretch. So what we call a figure 4 stretch. So right ankle on the left knee, bring it in towards your chest. You can use your hands around the back of your thigh. It's a really nice way to stretch out your bottom. And let's do the other side. So left ankle on right knee, and bring it in towards your chest. Okay, and relax. All right, we're going to do one more abdominal, okay, and that is dead bug. Okay, it's a classic abdominal exercise. I've got my hands directly over my shoulders, my knees directly over my hips. Okay, so your tummy is already working harder and your back will flatten a little bit in towards the floor. So we're going to move opposite arm with the opposite leg. And I want you to aim for at least 5 each side, probably 10 each side. All right, if you've got any back pain, you want to stop and make it simpler. And the way you make it simpler is you do your opposite arm, opposite leg, and keep repeating the same side with the other knee bent up. And you do 10 this side, and then you'd swap it over. So that's your easier option if your back starts to get uncomfortable. Okay, and backs do sometimes complain with this one. It just means that your deep tummy muscles have fatigued and your brain starts to recruit your back muscles and they fatigue as well. So they start to cramp up and cause pain so that you stop. So you should listen if you're getting back pain during exercise because it means that something is fatigued and working when it shouldn't be. Okay, you're not doing damage per se, but it just means that perhaps the exercise is a little bit too hard for you or your technique is not good. All right, I'm going to do 3 more each side. All right, 1 more each side. All right, and then I'm going to bring my knees in towards my chest. All right, and do a little rock. If you're still going, keep going to finish 20. All right, the other thing we can do here is a hip flexor stretch. So we're going to stretch one leg along the floor, hug the other knee in. All right, and then swap it over. Good. All right, we're going to go over onto tummies now. Actually, we're going to go into 4-point kneeling. So onto hands and knees. All right, so hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. So this is another good core exercise. So those hands on the floor, I want you to think about turning your shoulder blade muscles on in this position and looking straight to the floor and adding some length to your neck. Now we're going to stretch out opposite arm, opposite leg. So right arm with left leg. So do them at the same time. Now you can keep your foot on the floor. That's the easier option. If you want to work a little bit harder, lift that leg behind you. So the most important thing with this exercise is to keep your shoulder blade switched on, your chin tucked, your neck lengthened, and that leg stretched out behind you, but keep your heel in line with your bottom. Okay, and we're going to come back and swap it over. So take your time swapping it over, pop the hand directly underneath the shoulder, stretch out the left arm and the right leg, keep your shoulder blade engaged, chin tucked, head in line with the body. You should be able to feel your bottom working on that back leg. All right, just going to hold it for a fraction longer. All right, and that's it. All right, let's come back into what I call a frog stretch, which is knees apart, feet together, stretching your bottom back to your heels. All right, and then we're going to finish off just with a kneeling stretch. So hop, I've got a pillow because my knee doesn't like my hard floor here. All right, so I want you just to tighten your tummy, tuck your bottom. You're going to put your hand on the thigh out in front. We're going to bring your other arm up and tilt over, and you will get a glorious stretch through your trunk there, as well as a hip flexor stretch. All right, bring your arm back and swap over to the other side. Goodness, you can hear that traffic noise outside, can't you? All right, tighten the tummy, tuck the bottom, get that hip flexor stretch in front, and then hand on the thigh. We're going to bring the arm up and tilt over again. And again, a nice side trunk stretch there. Okay, coming up into standing. I'm just going to do some breathing to finish off with. So we want to have feet and knees hip width apart. We're going to breathe in, bring our arms all the way up above our head, and then breathe out. Good. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Okay, left shoulder roll, and then back the other way. And we're finished. Thanks everybody for joining in today. Hope you enjoyed the class. If you've got any feedback, positive, negative, let me know. You can send me a text. My number is in the little chat box, or you can find it on the website. And again, any of those exercises, if they are strange or you didn't quite get the descriptions while I was doing them, they're on the website, often with a roller, but the same exercises can be done without a roller. Anyway, happy for you to jump into any of these community classes. I'm going to keep running them 10 o'clock on a Wednesday and a Saturday. Enjoy your day, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you next time. Bye.